Mumbai is India's financial capital. It is a city where billionaires build towering skyscrapers that pierce the skyline, creating a landscape defined by extreme wealth. But right in the shadow of those high-rises sits a sprawling maze of blue tarps and densely packed tin roofs. This is Dharavi. Most people look at these alleyways and assume it is a place of helpless poverty. They are wrong. Dharavi is a highly efficient economic machine. While many urban slums struggle with high joblessness, an astonishing 85 to 90% of the people living here are employed. The scale of this underground economy is staggering. Tucked inside roughly 15,000 single rooms, you will find around 5,000 micro-businesses operating day and night. Together, they take in the city's trash and recycle an incredible 80% of all of Mumbai's plastic waste. The industrial output extends deep into manufacturing. Walk a few steps further and you will hit legacy industries like clay pottery. Workers here tend to roaring 400-degree kilns that sit just inches away from people's front doors. But look at this diagram comparing Dharavi's massive economic output against its health outcomes. While metrics like plastic recycling remain incredibly high, the trend line for life expectancy drops off a cliff. Simply being born on this side of the line means a person lives on average 10 years less than someone in the rest of Mumbai. Mumbai's economy integrates this billion-dollar productivity into its daily operations, thriving on the work done in these alleys, while the people who live here face a life expectancy gap found nowhere else in the city. When you step off the main roads and down into the maze of Dharavi, the physical reality of that survival crisis becomes immediate. The alleys are so tight that sunlight never reaches the ground, making every single day an exhausting physical battle. Almost no one here has a private bathroom. Instead, thousands of residents rely on shared public facilities. By the time the sun comes up, a single toilet unit might have a line of 1,000 people waiting to use it. Every visit to these shared units comes with a price. Private operators charge for every use, meaning a family of 5 needing to use the bathroom twice a day faces a recurring daily fee that drains their limited income. Getting clean drinking water is just as grueling. The taps only flow for exactly 3 hours every morning. Between 6 and 9 a.m., residents have to frantically collect and hoard every drop of clean water they might need for the entire day. Even worse, look at how that water arrives. The main supply pipes run right alongside and sometimes directly through open gutters carrying raw sewage. In Dharavi, clean water and safe sanitation function as high-risk commodities. The combination of health risks and the constant tax on survival keeps residents trapped in an unrelenting cycle of poverty. Moving inside the homes offers no relief. Some families, numbering up to 13 people, live entirely within the confines of a windowless 6-by-6-foot room. During the monsoon season, these ground-level rooms turn into concrete traps. Toxic, garbage-filled sewage pushes up through the drains, flooding the living spaces knee-deep and soaking everything they own. To understand the human cost of these conditions, you have to hear the stories of the people trapped inside them. One mother migrated to Mumbai from her village, desperate to find medical treatment for her 13-year-old son's cancer. Instead of a safe haven, she had to watch her critically ill child suffer inside one of these toxic, flooded rooms. The conditions became so hazardous that she was ultimately forced to surrender her dying son to a stranger's dry house just before he passed away. And yet, for the privilege of living in these deeply unsafe, perpetually flooded boxes, families are still charged thousands of rupees every single month in rent and utilities. The complete failure of urban housing infrastructure physically breaks families apart. People arrive hoping the city will be their medical and economic salvation, only to be met with a nightmare of insurmountable grief. Lately, strange numbers have started appearing, painted directly onto the doors of Dharavi's hose. They are the first visible signs of an impending, unstoppable change. These marks are part of a massive and highly controversial redevelopment project, spearheaded by the billionaire-owned Adani Group. For decades, residents have harbored a generational hope. Grandparents dreamed of one day securing a proper, safe apartment and passed that dream down to their children. On paper, this new project finally promises that modern future. But there is a dark loophole buried in the fine print. A vast portion of Dharavi's residents will not be rehoused on site. Instead, they face total displacement from the community and the businesses they spent 50 years building. The proposed destination for these displaced families is terrifying. They are being forced to relocate to the very edge of the Deonar dumping ground, Asia's largest active landfill. To see the fatal consequence of this move, look at this chart comparing life expectancies. The average resident of Mumbai lives to be 73, but for the people living near Deonar, that number violently drops to a shocking 39 years. The industry and resilience that built Dharavi now face systematic erasure. The redevelopment project replaces long-standing communities with luxury real estate, while discarding the essential workforce into a dumping ground where the cost of survival is higher than ever.